Okay, guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will discuss. Today we will discuss about topic sociolinguistic. It is about language maintenance. Language maintenance and language policy. So, who want to discuss about it first? Is it my voice clear, guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's clear.
Yeah.
May I may I go first?
You can go in.
Okay, about language maintenance and policy. Um, Language maintenance. This is refers to the efforts or condition that have a language survive across generations, especially in multilingual societies. This happens when a language continues to be spoken actively despite the presence of more dominant languages. And next, is about language policy. Language policy, this is refers to the official decision, the official decision like by governments or institutions to support, regulate, or language policies can promote bilingualisms, protect minority language, or enforce the use of national languages. For example, in Indonesia's language planning, which promotes Bahasa Indonesia as their national language while maintaining local languages like Japanese and Sundanese. And and next about the term definition of language maintenance and policy. Language maintenance, the continued use and transmissions of a language with a community. Language uh, language governmental or institutional actions that influence language use. And there are also language planning strategies to develop or reform language practices and standardizations. And talk about maintenance. Language maintenance is not just about communications, but also it's deeply connected to identify culture and community pride. In many cases, smaller language are lost because of lack of support, precise or opportunity to use them in public spaces like school and media. Role, governments can either preserve or erase linguistic diversity depending on their approach. Um, as a multilingual speaker, we realize how important it is to balance the use of a national or global language like English or Bahasa Indonesia while still encouraging the use of local languages at home and in education. Without support, even widely spoken regional languages can disappear over time. Disappear over time. Mm, and actually, technology can also influence the language use. Like when content is only available in dominant languages, content on social media is dominant of languages, it is maybe neglected. However, when digital platform and media include or promote local language content such as in music, social media, and educational apps, they become powerful tools for language preservation, or become or can also or can promoting that target language. Especially in among your younger generations. And in social linguistics, because it shows the power dynamics behind language use. Whether a language survives or fades depend not only on its speakers but also on education system, governments, and cultural attitudes. I think that's all for me. Uh, Explain next.
Uh, Maybe I can explain our topic today. All right, guys. In our discussion today, let's talk about language maintenance, language policy, and language change. In previous study, we have talked about uh, language contact in multilingualism and discourse society. So in this today, we will discuss about the language maintenance, language policy, and
Wait, I can hear.
of language maintenance is to is that so that we can use the same language in daily life or daily conversation, and the next generation can still use the same language. And also we have a language policy. Language policy is a rule to regulate the use of a language in a country. And there is also language international language policy and the national language policy. International language policy aims to support global effective communication, like the use of the use of English as lingua franca, and to support effective global communication. And then the national language policy aims to bring unity and avoid social conflicts. And then also has we have discussed about language planning. In simple way, it can be said language planning as deliberate change. And planners is focus on focus on specific language issues. Their function is to develop a policy of the use of a language which will solve the language issues appropriately in a particular speech community. And also we discuss about a language change. And language change is the process of the change of the use the language, like in their structure, their form, their meaning, and their vocabulary. And there are several aspects in language change, like change in morphological, change in syntactical, change in semantical, their grammatical. And For example, the change in grammatical, like the word nice. In the present time, the word nice means precious, and meanwhile, in the Old English, the word nice it means like ignorant or stupid, maybe like that. And then, how does language change over time? First, the first one is uh, from group to group. Language change can spread from one group to another group. And then the second one is from word to word, like the lexical definition. And this one from style, style to style, like as Purina taught in style of language. There are five style of language, like casual language, of casual style, frozen style, consultative style, and so on. I think that's all my understanding about our topic today. Thank you.
Maybe I want to expand my show about human also language. So first, think about the language change. Change can happen because of very reason of like patient in this social job, and uh, also it can be of different so depend depend some group of uh, start creating and then the concentration so the and the realization there are kind of various language started start so it's university and then there changes and the factors around historical and style is uh, uh, English English is then the cost and extend the service and also geographical fact like friends with like I can represent even historical factors like the England age is different with the and there's also organization. So education it happened there is uh, for example in English uh, regional regional English and then they like they they simplify the language and also like policy and maintenance. So first language uh, separate into national language, social language. So national language is language that used in regular Indonesian nation as a unification language. Where is have uh, language. We need and additionally serve as simplification and in its because not only involve language in any region area. Then we also have language planning. So planning is like we we plan to like making, for example, so to and so we can we can use them to and then uh, language maintenance, maintenance, it can curriculum program from the and like and well that's it because it's like things almost and
Is it my turn yet? Yes. Okay. So I couldn't agree more with you guys. So I think I want to discuss to you guys about the language change first. So language change means that the way people speak, write, and use language is always evolving over time. So it is different for over decade. So language change happens because people use differently depending on where they live, who they are, or who they are talking to. So this variation is the starting point for language change, I think. So why does language change happen? So language change happen, it is because of variation, social factors, prestige, and contact with other languages. Variation is like, for example, like people from different places, age groups, or social backgrounds speak differently. For example, teenagers might use slang that older people do not. We can we can see it like this day. Teenagers might say slay or lead, and older people couldn't understand that. And social factors, so changes can spread because of social reasons such as wanting to fit in, show status, or be seen as modern or traditional. And for the prestige, it is like if a popular celebrity starts saying a word a certain way, others might copy them. We can see the example of prestige in, I think in is it is a show from America. It is called Euphoria. So the character named Rue, no, I forgot about that. Let's skip. And then the contact with other languages. So when speakers of different languages interact, they might borrow words or grammar from each other. So how do linguists study language change? So Linguists look at how people of different ages speak. If younger people use a new word or pronunciation that older people do not, it can be a sign that the language is changing. So it is like comparing age groups. And then the linguists use the apparent time method. Instead of waiting for decades, researchers compare the speech of young and old people at one point in time to guess how language might change in the future. So the examples of language change that we can see in this generation, like vocabulary. So new words like selfie, it is have appeared in English in recent years, while old words like though have disappeared. And in pronunciation, in some English accents, the pronunciation of R at the end of words has changed over time. For example, car used to be pronounced with a strong R, car, in British English, but now it is often dropped. And in grammar, the way we make questions in English has changed in older English. People might say, no, you don't know you the answer, but now we say, do you know the answer? The simple example of language change is like, imagine you are in a classroom. The teacher says you all need to hand in your homework. You all need to hand in your homework. So in some parts of the United States, in the US, students might say y'all instead of you all. So if more and more people start using y'all instead of you all, so eventually it could become the standard way of to say it in English. So that is language change in action. So I think that's all from me from the language change. I think can move on to the language policy. About the language planning. Language planning, in short, it is like the steps the government takes to manage and promote the languages. So languages of the country, it is chosen wisely by the government. For example, like in Singapore, the government promotes 4 official languages. It is English, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil, to reflect its different ethnic groups. So the book that Mr. Hanafi given to us, Holmes, it explains that language planning usually has 2 big parts. Number 1 is status planning. So it is deciding which language will have what role in the country. For example, in New Zealand, English is dominant, but Maori was officially made a national language to protect indigenous culture. And number 2, corpus planning. Corpus planning, it is like working on the language itself, like fixing grammar, making new words, or standardizing spelling. Sample in Tanzania, after independence, they developed Swahili more formally, creating a new Swahili words for modern ideas like computer or electricity. So why do countries do language planning? The reason why countries do language planning it is because they want to build national unity. They want to protect cultural identity, and they want everyone to be able to communicate easily. Sometimes, sometimes it is like a power. Using a national
Electrical,
language. Yes, Naila?
sorry, there's electrical fall here. Power off. Electric is off here.
Sorry, I couldn't hear clearly.
Electrical fall here in my area.
Yes, I think Zoom is 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
Should I continue the discussion?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, it is like also about the language that the government choose for the countries. It is like about power. So choosing a national language can show who is in charge or what future the country wants. I think that's all from me. Anyone want to add some opinion?
Is it okay 26 or 27? Or we need to do 30 minutes?
I think we should do like the previous video.
30? Hmm. I don't really have a question.
Sorry guys. I think I do have a example of the language. What do we call it? Language planning? Yes. So the simple example of the language planning, uh, we can imagine a country with many languages. The government wants everyone to understand official documents and participate in national life. So they choose one language as the national language to unite the people and another as the official language for government work. They then create grammar books and dictionaries, uh, and then teach it in schools and run campaigns to make people proud of using it. So it is like prestige planning. So national languages in language planning, it can help unite a country and represent its identity, while official languages are used for practical government functions. So language planning is the process of making decisions about which language to promote, yeah, which languages to promote and how to develop them using steps like status, corpus acquisition, and prestige planning to help languages grow and serve the needs of society. There is Naila. guys?
I think I have a bad connection, so
Hmm.
she left.
Okay, guys. I think that's all from our discussion. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.